Welcome to another team talk. Hunter just coined that little term minutes before coming on here. So again, we have Hunter and Ashley on. Hunter runs the production, Ashley does social. This week, we have Emmy Hernandez joining us all the way from her apartment in Lincoln, Nebraska. Emmy,
whoa.
Tell us about yourself. Give us like the Cliff Note version of who Emmy Hernandez is.
The Cliff Note version of Emmy? Emmy is a teacher here in Lincoln, Nebraska. She teaches high school students how to be successful young adults in the field of human interaction and culinary.
Mm-hmm.
And what other things does Emmy do? She is full-time dater to the Nicholas Kastner and part-time sleeper because she doesn't sleep that much. I don't know. What else do I do?
I hear aspiring musician in there. Did I hear aspiring musician?
Okay. Yeah. She sings.
Yeah, what does she sing?
Songs that she writes.
Yes, and she is super talented. Love her.
Plug that single in, girl. Come on.
Oh, I forgot. Honestly, guys, my brain is at 2%. Yeah, and I released my first song this last, a month ago? And it's called Is That Enough? You can find that on your streaming devices.
Yes,
it's great too. I have it in my liked Spotify songs, and it just like plays randomly now.
No
and
way.
I'll just like be jamming to it. Yeah, I'll be jamming to it. And I'm like, and the other day I was jamming. I was telling my friends like, yeah, this is my homie. You know, they're like, no way it is.
I know
was
her.
Like, yeah,
I know her.
Hunter's in sad boy hours. Like, is that enough?
Yeah, I didn't think about the context of that.
Yeah, it's a sad girl banger for sure, but
yeah,
I'm glad they like it.
Yeah, she's starting on her second one, and this one I'm interested in. It's the producers are doing a lot more remote. We're like sending the files remotely and stuff, which is just interesting that like that's how people make songs now.
Yeah, and it sounds cool. We only know like 5 seconds of it, really, but it sounds like it's gone in a cool place.
Hell yeah.
So how is everyone? So it's been 2 weeks since we last touched base. How is everyone? Like any major updates since then? Ashley has had to move all of a sudden.
Oh, yes. It has been a stressful week in the house of Ashley. Just moved 3 doors down, which is super convenient, but also you never really know how much junk you have until you're moving and you're like, wait, how did we accumulate all this? So that's been a little stressful, but the cat has adjusted well, I think. She's just sleeping all the time, so I think that that's a good sign. But yeah, just about done. Tomorrow the house gets torn down to be a new renovation for more apartments. So that's kind of the status on that.
Yeah, and
just glad that we're fully moved in now. So yay.
Yes, yeah, and they like hardly gave you a heads up, right? That you had to move.
Yeah, so it's kind of just a little bit slimy, I suppose. The landlord knew that he sold the place and it was gonna be torn down back in the December, and he told our neighbor, but he didn't tell us until end of January. Which they're supposed to give you like a 30-day notice, but that was like barely, I think it's 60-day notice, but they gave us like 30. So so it's been super stressful there, but almost done. There's just like little things here and there, but we had a lot of anxiety thinking like, oh my God, what if they were like tearing down the house today? Like it's tomorrow that they're tearing down, but what if they do it today? So there was a little anxiety over that, but we're good. Almost fully moved in and got some painting done. I painted some walls, which was fun. I felt so creative, and I'm covered in paint still, but yeah, almost finished over here. So that's been my update. It's just moving.
Yeah, and moving always sucks. Like regardless of what the situation, the no time, like the no heads up before they're turning it down, like amplifies how stressful it is. But it's always stressful. So I definitely feel you on that. Hunter, what have you been up to? Anything?
Has Hunter been up to something? Hunter does a lot in terms of like student organization. So we've been super involved with like Startup UNL stuff. We have a big like membership meeting. We're all gonna come together April 5th, which is I'm so stoked about. We're actually doing like a showcase to like highlight some of like what our members are working on, and like it's the coolest thing to see like the ideas, the creativity, or like what some students are like working on building. Like for instance, we have workshop hours every Wednesday night where people just show up and like do focus groups or like get feedback on something, or any constructive way that anybody can help them out. But we actually had this guy, I believe his name is Shima, but he is from Rwanda and created the first card game to ever come out of Rwanda. It's called like Muko Gorilla. Yeah, so first card game to ever come out of this country, and like we're like jamming, playing it around a table, which is like super cool, and a unique experience for sure. But it was like stuff like that happens like on the weekly basis. So I'm so excited to see like what other members are working on. But other than that, just school. I mean, it's so tough to focus on like school when like a bunch of other fun stuff is going on, especially now that like we've had and I'm sure to all my students out there that are like grinding right now, it's like we have had no breaks. It's just been like Saturday, Sunday, go back to work, and like a lot of students I know like work during the week and then homework on the weekends. So there's like no time to like decompress or even catch up on things.
Yeah,
but other than that, it's been good.
Yeah, so spring break would have just passed, right? And then they canceled spring break because of COVID, and they didn't want people going to like Florida and pack the beaches, right?
Indeed, yep. And so we actually had a longer like gap in between our fall and spring semester, which it's still crazy to like think of where we are inside of society of like everywhere you go, there's masks, there's mandates, and like it's just still like. I feel like we're getting glimpses of the other side, but like still like I feel like there's still like a normalcy bias of like I mean we're still in a global pandemic right now, and like there's people are fighting to like stay alive. I've got friends in Brazil right now that are really struggling. I mean, not just them specifically, but like the culture and communities are being ravaged by like this disease. So it's really easy to think of like, oh, this is almost over. Yet like my friends in the Czech Republic can't leave their house. People in Hong Kong have to go on like rotated tables to go like rotated schedules to like go outside, and like go like out to eat and shopping and stuff. So it's not over yet,
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm sure we've all seen the like surging cases with the variant, and hospitalization numbers are increasing, and all of that. Like we're so close to being done, and I'm so ready for this pandemic to be over. But it's not there yet. I did get vaccinated yesterday. That's my pretty much my big life update is vaccine 1 is in the arm.
Exciting. Which one did they give you? Which one did they give you?
The Pfizer.
Okay. How you feeling? Did you get like a lot of side effects?
No. So I had COVID pretty bad. So I don't know. I know that like changes it slightly. I don't know. Because I've asked people, but it seems like everyone has like a slightly different like situation.
Answer for you.
Exactly. But my arm is still pretty sore, but it was like a normal shot. Okay, so when I first got COVID tested, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. And then it was bad. Like they go, 4 inches up your nose and your eyes are watering. Brain. Yes, yeah. Like I didn't really picture my nostrils as a whole until they shoved that first COVID test up. So I went into the vaccine thinking it was going to be much worse than any other shot I'd ever taken, and it was going to be like a 4-inch long needle. Not the case. It was very just routine. I went to Hy-Vee, stuck it in my arm, and walked out 30 minutes later. So the actual so far no real side effects besides the soreness on the arm, which happens when I've gotten other vaccines and whatnot, but would recommend. In the Hy-Vee there were it's tough to get an appointment, but if you Google like Hy-Vee COVID vaccine, it's the first link to pop up on Google, so definitely keep an eye out. And I would encourage anyone to get a vaccine, as we kind of talked last little team meeting. The pandemic won't end until we all do it. So definitely pro-vaccine.
Very nice.
Did you have to wait after you got it? Like, did they make you sit and wait?
Yeah. They wrote some time on a sticky note and said, hey, don't leave after this time. And it was like 20 minutes or something.
20 minutes for you, huh? I was only 15.
Okay. It could have been 15.
I know, I'm just kidding. I get my second vaccine tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Oh, you get yours at 5? I'm at, I think, like 4:45. So it's like, look at us. Tomorrow, between that time frame, we're going to be fully done. Are you nervous that it's going to be like strong side effects after? Because that's what I've heard from some people, is that second shot, it knocks them out.
I kind of hope so. So then I have an excuse to just take a couple days off. Not saying that I need a couple days off, but it would be nice to be like, yo, I got vaccinated. I'm feeling like crap. Like, I'm just going to chill the next like 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Tell the teachers, hopefully there's no teachers are jamming to this right now. Yeah, yeah, I think, I hope not, because it is like, we have a month left of school and it's time to like kind of focus on the grades kind of vibes. But, also, it would be nice to have like 2 days to just chill and like watch TV.
Understandable. I know. I feel the same. Except we don't have school on Friday, so it's like, oh, I'm glad I'm getting it, but I already had the day off, so I guess I'll just enjoy it off. But okay, you should keep us updated and let us know if you feel anything.
Man, I feel so like left out. All you guys got like at least one vaccine, and I'm over here being like, when do I get mine? I'm still
You should
waiting
just
for
walk
that.
in. You should just be like, do you guys
Just
know who
give
I
it
am?
to me.
Yeah,
Just
have you
give it
guys
to me.
have you guys listened to the Commonwealth? Like, I'm a very crucial piece of this team. Like, I need to get vaccinated.
Exactly. I run social media. I need the vaccine, guys. Come on.
So I heard people in media were in an early like stage, and if that's true, the person I heard that from was either lying to me or I completely missed that, because I was reading like the fine print on who was eligible as weeks passed. If that's true, Ashley, we will definitely like
Yes.
name drop everyone possible to get on the list. And I would think in like 2 weeks, you'd think it would be pretty damn easy. But like once this initial like huge push of everyone flooding the website.
Yes.
Yes, which goes into, I think, so we were also discussing beforehand like the kind of building out segments for these team talks, and I think a good one would be like, what are you looking forward to? So like we just kind of talked about like, like update everyone on like what you've been doing the last week or two. What are you looking forward to in the next week or two? Anyone have anything?
Easter!
Yeah, Easter is super dope.
Easter's this
coming
weekend,
up.
guys.
Oh man, I forgot about that. There is no sense of time in my world anymore. It's just like life is happening, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's that time of year. Like somebody was like, oh, March Madness. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing that happens. I totally forget
Fool's
about
Day.
that. Ah,
Yeah.
yes, that's a thing,
Tomorrow.
Not about April Fool's Day. I don't really like the whole pranks. People pulling pranks, not necessarily about it, but
You're
Really,
I
you
love
seem like
the
you
pranks.
seem like quite the prankster, Nick. That surprises me.
so if people start messing with me, I will. I come back with the pranks, and like it escalates
Yes.
quickly. My actual pet peeve is scaring. When someone like scares me for fun, not about that. Like the whole Ellen like scaring people in the workplace. Not my favorite.
I could just see somebody like jumping out from behind a curtain and like scaring Nick, and he just like jabs him in the face or some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, I did that to my brother once. I scared him in the shower, so I did it like start it, and then he went to scare me, and I just like hit him, like pushed his like head against the wall and stuff. He was so mad at me, but I was like, don't come at me.
So
Yeah.
big rule of thumb is don't scare Nick ever.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
gets scared easily.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm gonna file that one away in my pocket just for future reference.
I know when you say don't scare Nick, I hear scare Nick. So
okay.
sorry, Nick.
I know who to keep my eye on. Okay, so then lastly, how I would like to wrap up like all of these is like a tidbit of the time period. So like, was there anything you learned or anything like valuable you saw or like insight you gained since the last time we checked in as a team? So does anyone have anything like jumping out at them?
Yeah. Always double check the space on the cards, and the battery. I mean, those are two junior producer things to do, right? Like junior like things. But I guess now it has to be some sort of standard operating procedure.
Yes. Give more
note to
context
self.
on what you're talking about, Hunter.
Yeah, so the other day we went and we shot a really good interview with this girl named Kelly. She runs this nonprofit called The Refinery, and she helps refugees use their skills to create and craft things. And so, mid-interview, we're jamming 3 camera angles. Mid-interview, the camera stops, and I'm like, oh, that's great. What's going on? And it's like, oh, your card is full. And just before the interview, Nick was like, hey, you should check the card space in the other camera. So I checked the other camera's card space, but not the other camera's card space. So I was like, oh no, darn it. Yeah, and then the battery level was kind of low too, but we survived that one.
Yeah. Is what it is. All of this is there's a learning curve, and if you compared to like our videos on set now to the first one we posted when I was doing it all by myself, and it's like not framed properly, and it's all gotten better, but definitely a learning moment there. Anyone else, Ashley or Emmy?
Organization will always be your savior. That's what I've learned from moving. I'm not the most organized person in the world when it comes to like my things. When it like online, when it comes to like my work, my scheduling, I'm on it. I got it fully scheduled. I'm ready to go. But when it comes to like packing, that's not my forte. So learning to try to organize is a tough lesson, but it's definitely worth it.
I love organization. So if you need some pointers, maybe you can give me some pointers for like the scheduling kind, because I'm an overbooker. I gotta my lesson is learn to find times to say no. Like, it's okay to say no sometimes. And so that's my lesson.
Okay, I'm taking that as a soundbite to use in future context with Emmy. Yeah, remember when you said, yeah, okay, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So mine, I think the whole like recording a song remote is like, I didn't think that would be a thing until we I guess are doing it, and it's still like a pretty basic version, but it's just cool to see what can be done when people aren't in the same room, including recording this podcast together. Is that your cat, Ashley, for anyone watching?
Yes, it is. Adder, she's quite the rag, but
Adder.
She's a sweetheart. Yes, Adder like the snake, because she will attack.
All right, perfect. The Commonwealth releases episodes every single Monday, so tap that follow button so you don't miss a beat. If you're looking to support the show, please leave a review and tell your friends about it. It for real helps. And we will be back in your feeds on Monday. See you then.